Decision Diaries.
Welcome to Decision Diaries. Today on Decision Diaries, on this great day of all days, the super day, Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. We are going to talk about Bruce and I's decision to rent a pedal assist mountain bike. And so no judgment. It's a no judgment zone. I actually did this for you for your birthday, but then it turned kind of into your birthday, Mother's Day weekend birthday. Some Mother's Day are at the spa, which is totally awesome. I wish I was at the spa with my mom, but I do not have my mom. So I am mountain biking on Mother's Day. How about that?
You were pedaling on Mother's Day. It was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, pedal assist is pretty awesome. Again, no judgment for those of you who have never tried pedal assist. So we are here to walk you through the decision of why in the world would you purchase a pedal assist mountain bike when you're trying to get super healthy by mountain biking, and mountain biking is awesome without the assistance. But Bruce, what can you do when you have the pedal assist?
Just about everything.
Everything.
I mean, there was no hill too hard to climb. It was actually really fun. I can't explain. I mean, the trails we went before and it wore us out. We were there for an hour, and yesterday we rode for 4 hours.
4 hours, and then we rode again today. So yeah. I think the key is we're going to talk you through the benefits of pedal assist and the lack of shame now that I'm sorry, I'm on board. I'm on board with pedal assist. I don't know how we're going to afford it, but I am on board with pedal assist. I think there is places where pedal assist is really important, and certain mountain biking trails that will sort of try to identify mountain biking trail characteristics that are perfect for these types of bikes over your regular mountain bikes.
I can do that.
You can do that?
If it's got a big hill and you have to climb it, an e-bike is awesome.
Well, I think we need to get into a little more detail than that. And
I'm just trying to buy an e-bike, Lynn. Come on.
I think you are. I think you've been thinking about that the whole entire time. And when you can't afford an e-bike, the best thing is to rent one.
Yes. It was fun. It was a good time. It's the second time we've rented an e-bike. So, and I really enjoyed these because they seem like regular bikes versus a full power e-bike.
Well, okay. So let's get into the technical stuff, because this is really your space of the make and model that I rented without knowing the make and model I rented. I just went to Bicycles, Etc. in Jacksonville, Florida, and I went to the owner and I said, I need 2 pedal assist bikes for Mother's Day weekend. That was the only criteria I gave to the bicycle shop. So just so you know, you don't have to know the make and model of the e-bikes that you want to rent. Clearly, bicycle shops offer their particular brands. And in this case, what was our brand?
It was a Trek Fuel EXE 8 aluminum mountain bike. It was awesome. I mean, it wasn't a full power. It's a super lightweight bike. So it wasn't heavy. It wasn't, I mean, most mountain bikes are like 50, 60 pounds. I think this one's like 47 pounds. So you lost, it was just a lighter weight bike, and it doesn't have the full power as a full power mountain bike, but still a lot of fun. I mean, I didn't feel like I was cheating as much as I was when I rode a full power mountain bike before.
Okay. And then we got, for me, we had a medium.
Yeah. You had a medium size, and I had a standard large. No, You had a small. I'm sorry. You had a small bike.
Oh, I had a small.
Right.
Okay.
But a 29-inch wheels.
Okay. And then the other thing when you rent e-bikes, and we're going to talk a little bit about this because we have some sore butts today. And we're going to talk about when you rent any bicycle from a bicycle shop, you kind of get the seat they gave you, and the seat that they gave us was for people that, are used to being on really firm, slim seats, which is not me.
The bike that we rented I'm pretty sure these are the factory seats, and they're like sitting on a piece of metal. It was awful. But I think if we would have rode them, every day for the last year, we probably would still think they were hard. Like,
Yeah.
they were,
Yeah.
it was rough. It was a little hard. And, we're in our 50s, man. Come on. It sucks. I want a little padding on my seat. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So first things first, do not judge a rental bicycle by the seat for comfort, because you're gonna get a factory issued seat. And if you are a regular bike rental person, you may want to think about getting one of those kind of seat covers so that you can get the maximum out of it. And here's the thing with these pedal assist bikes, you can do hours.
Hours
So
upon
the
hours.
seat becomes really important, because I actually felt like, where were we at? We had been riding for about 3 hours and I was at 57% power. And where were you?
I was probably at 45.
And my legs were still feeling pretty fresh.
Yeah.
I
I could walk. After
right.
4 hours riding a bike and I could still walk, that's bonus time.
And there were still trails that were a little outside of the zone that we were at, that we've always wanted to explore, that I think we could have explored had our butts not been on fire.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
I think the
that's
butt
a
is
good assessment.
I think the butt is what called it. So so let's talk about the trails. So let me sort of key us up here. There is a trail, and I'm sure everyone has a trail like this within your state, where it is great downhill and so much fun. You're going downhill and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so flowy. This is nicest trail. I know there's one in Austin that's very much like that too. And then there's this weird, long, slow climb that you have to go if you want to do it a second time. Or there may be a trail out there in your state where it is not a slow straight climb, like by a power line or something like that. It may be one of those where it's a slow climb, but then there's these massive roots that are in your way. So if you don't have that momentum, that's really going to stop your bike and make you get off your bike and have to kind of bring your bike over those roots, because you just don't have that amount of power. And so the place that we went to had a little bit of both. I mean, they have this one trail. It's called Conquistador, and Conquistador kicked my butt the last time I was there. I was off my bike probably more than I was on my bike. And this time I was on my bike the whole entire time.
Yeah, we finished Conquistador this time. Before, we didn't finish it. We actually cut off probably I'd say about a half mile of that track, because the climbs were so brutal and they just switched back all the way up, and it was just brutal, rooty, and really tough. Yesterday with the pedal assist, it has 3 levels, and we were in level 2 for most time, maybe 3, 3 being the most power, and it just pulls you right through it. It's amazing. It is, it made it enjoyable, and it was the juice, as I like to say, was worth the squeeze on an e-bike. If you're riding edge downhills and you're having to pedal back up, it's just not worth it sometimes. It's just, you can't get back up. Your legs are just be jello, and it's torture. This was so much fun. You just ride up and ride around and have a good time. It was a very fun experience.
Well, now I was heavy breathing, so I think we need to talk about the mechanics of this. If you stop pedaling, you do not have any momentum, and that's why we are talking about pedal assist versus something that's feels very much like a throttle, where you could stop pedaling, but there's this large motor that's driving you up there. This is very different. If you stop pedaling, so you were constantly getting exercise, and I was heavy breathing, but I wasn't to the point where I had to get off my bicycle because a route approached. Instead, I mentally had to say to myself, okay, I'm on 3. I have a lot of faith in this bike that I've rented, and I can make it over this route without my bike sort of stopping and me having to fall over and worry about falling in a snake pit, which is kind of something that's always in the back of my mind. Like, I'm always worried that when I stop pedaling, the one place I'm going to put my foot down is going to be the master snake pit. So I was very happy I never had to do that. I don't think I even stopped once. So I loved number 3. And then here's the other thing with the game I was playing with myself. I'm on Conquistador and I was trying to stay on 2 as long as I could because I wanted to be a badass. And there's a reason I want to be a badass. And let's talk about, we did meet someone on the trail. I'm sure he's not listening to this podcast, but if he is, yeah, I'm going to make fun of you right now. I'm going to say it. I'm making fun of you. Okay. When you meet 2 older people on pedal assist bikes
Slightly overweight.
and overweight, a little bit overweight,
Slightly.
slightly overweight. Do not tell these people when you are a non-pedal assist bike that you are planning to do Conquistador not once, not twice, not 3 times.
Oh, keep going.
6 times. Like, why does this man have to share this information with us? It's like he almost wanted to be like, I am so fit and you are so not fit that you are on a pedal assist bike and I am not on a pedal assist bike. But then I started thinking to myself, I got you, buddy, but you're alone and my husband's with a woman. You seem kind of like a jackass, and my husband kind of seems really awesome because he likes to drink beer and eat pizza. And I noticed that you don't have a beer belly, probably because you do Conquistador 6 times, but you don't seem like you'd be fun to have a beer with. So I don't know if he's out there and if he was to recognize us from this podcast. But I'm just saying, it motivated me to stay on 2. And it also made me very thankful that I did not pick a man who doesn't like to drink beer and eat pizza.
I think there's a compliment in there for me, and I am taking
it. There is a compliment in there for you because, the fact that we're both on pedal assist, like if I had a really, I hate to say it, but like super fit triathlete husband and I wanted to rent a pedal assist bike, you'd probably shame me and be like, what kind of, you need to go run a marathon, babe, or something like that. But we don't have that.
Yeah, no, that was a good ride yesterday. I don't have any regrets. I think it was interesting to learn how it reacts to the gears, how the motor reacts. On this particular model, the motor is really small and it's super quiet, so you really don't notice it. On one, you feel it pick up every now and again, and it kind of, like level 1, it does help you, and level 2, it definitely, you feel it pulling you along pretty well. Level 3, just it's like riding it's like having a car and super quiet, or a golf cart that's in 4-wheel drive and you can go anywhere. And that bike went anywhere we tried to go with yesterday, and it was tough as nails, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's full suspension, so I didn't get bounced around too bad. My back doesn't hurt. My arms don't hurt. The whole experience was really fun, except for the hard seats. I mean,
well, now here's the other question. Do you feel like we got a workout?
Yes, I do. I mean, 14 hours on a bike and you're constantly pedaling. It'd be like riding a Peloton not 14 hours, or 14, 16 miles. It would be like 4 hours of riding a Peloton. I mean, we were just pedaling the whole time, and we were generating energy, no doubt about it.
All right. So
you have to pedal for it to work. It does not work if you don't pedal.
So I think these bikes are incredible. And, when we were both comparing how quickly we were running through the power storage, because I was a little concerned that I would get so used to the power that, like, what would happen if I ran through all my power and I'm about midway through Conquistador and now I have to walk this heavier bike up the rest of Conquistador, but that did not happen. And so when I found that I was really not running through the power very fast, that's another one of those things that was really new to me. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was trying to conserve my power as much as possible. Also because of that guy, I just wanted to be like, I can do this without this pedal assist as much as possible, until finally I hit the 3. And here's the other thing that's so unique this time with our decision to go to pedal assist is our communication on the trail was all about what number we were on.
Right. 1, 2, or 3.
1, 2, or 3. And so as we were riding, we would say, oh, I'm staying on 1 as much as possible. And then he was ahead of me. And normally you call the trail to let me know if there's something, really complex or difficult. and you would say, turn it to 2. And I was so fortunate that I got that information because I turned it to 2 right before I was about to hit what I like to call that uphill wall where you have to make the decision. You can't get that next rotation. And if you can't get that next rotation, you're about to fall to the left or the right into an imaginary snake pit. And you have to decide, okay, I'm going to get off my bike. And it's very hard to start pedaling once you get off your bike on an incline. And that's something else I noticed about these bikes is that when I did one time, I got off the bike. I was at a weird corner and I got off the bike on an incline. It was very hard for me to get the cranks going on the incline versus my normal bike because it's heavy. It is kind of a little
It's
heavy.
heavy. It's very heavy.
Yeah.
Versus what you ride now, which she rides a Giant now that's probably 28 pounds, 29 pounds maybe. And this bike being about 10 pounds or about 20 pounds heavier because of the battery and the motor. But I think once you got used to riding it, I think it'd be it'd be like riding a bike, Lynn.
Yeah. Well, we hope so. And so our story did not end there.
No.
Now the other thing too, I will say that added to this pedal assist riding experience is A, we do not own these bikes. B, these bikes are expensive. C, if these bikes get stolen, we will have to pay the bicycle shop for these bikes. So, normally after we ride a trail, we will drink a couple of beers or we will, lock up the bikes and we will go have some barbecue or something like that. We were very aware that we needed to keep our eyes on these, what are we talking about? $10,000 bikes together?
About 12,000, I think.
About $12,000 bikes on the back of our car. And so I think there was a part of me feeling like we had this like Porsche on the back of our car and we didn't want to stop anywhere where we didn't kind of have some eyes on our bike. So that's a little unique for us that, we're worried about stealing. I was also worried about falling and breaking any part of the bike that would be taken out of our deposit. So
I was a little bit worried about something like that, but I was more worried about I'd been riding for 4 straight hours and I was afraid my legs or I would just get exhausted and I would want to go take a nap somewhere. And driving 2 hours back from Gainesville to home, I would just be gassed and it would be that's what I was afraid of. But like I said, I wasn't that tired afterwards. I mean, usually after a ride like that, my legs are so jello that I could, I would be done. I would be done. I would have been done for an hour riding like that yesterday for an hour. And then today we went on a Sunday on Mother's Day, we went and rode some more.
Yeah. So we really wanted to try out these bikes on local trails that we go to all the time and to see really what the difference is, because this is an investment. And I think it is a big decision that when you go from, non-electric bikes to electric bikes, can you ever go back? I was worried that we were really going to be spoiled and we were going to think to ourselves, oh, I never want to go back to my bike is garbage now. I want this bike. And, I was going to have to go to work and you're going to have to earn a little bit more commission. And the next thing you know, we can't pay for our kids in college. So
let's go get the bikes.
Let's go get the
Heck with
bikes.
the kids.
Let's cut the kids off. It's Mother's Day, right? So trying out our local trails. There is a local trail near us, and maybe you have one near you, or maybe you're just getting into mountain biking right now, and there's that one hill that just breaks you, and that's that one hill that you're thinking to yourself, like, maybe if I drop 10 pounds, maybe if I ate the right breakfast, maybe if I had an energy drink, maybe if I try that hill early in my trail experience that day, that I'm going to have enough energy to conquer it. And I have one of those that it does not matter. I have tried so many combinations to conquer this hill. I really have. I have tried getting out of the saddle. I've tried, getting up speed way in advance. I've taken all the inputs from all my mountain biking friends to tell me how to conquer this hill, and it kicks my ass every single time. And today was the day that I was going to try this pedal assist. I put it on 3 because I wanted success. And I pedaled and I pedaled, and oh my gosh, it was like eating chocolate cake. That's how it felt. It felt like eating chocolate cake without all the, bad things that come with eating chocolate cake. I went up the hill and I had to pedal, of course, because this pedal assist. I had to pedal, and then I mentally had to be like, "Oh my god, I'm really is this what it feels like when I make this hill?" It's really okay. I'm not gonna say it was orgasmic. I'm just gonna say, woo! I'm just gonna say when I got to the
I'm
top,
gonna have to go buy you a bike.
I know. I was the first time that I've ever gone up this hill. I was so excited. Just the feeling of success that this thing didn't beat me. And I'm gonna say, okay, I know I had it on a 3. I think if I had a little more energy and my butt wasn't so sore, I would have liked to try it on a 2. But the feeling of conquering something, even with a little assistance, was fabulous. And it was worth every penny. I really was, because every time I go up that hill, I get about 3/4 up, and then I have to figure out how am I going to bail out of this situation, which usually involves me stepping into bushes, and that scares the shit out of me. So the idea of not stepping in that bush and destroying that bush like I've always done consistently was truly amazing. And I think I shouted out to you. I told you I was on a 3, and then I stayed on a 3 for the next hill. And I was like, okay, now I'm cheating. I need to go back down to a 2 because there's some guy doing 6 times of conquistador someplace else. And like, I want to compete with that guy sometime. Maybe. Never. I mean, never. Maybe never.
I think it might help you on the next time you ride it. But I just didn't. I don't have a full suspension bike like you do, and these are full suspension. So to me, to ride my local trail and see how it reacts to the way I ride was fun. I've never jumped a full suspension bike before, so that was fun. And a full suspension e-bike is a whole nother game. And what I noticed is that weight is heavy. The speed needs to be, of course, faster. And I need to, there's a term called preloading, and I've never done that before on a bike. And so when I figured it out and I did it, I was pretty jacked up. I was pretty pumped up. That was fun.
You got some pretty good air.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched you. You got some pretty good air.
It's a different style of riding, a completely different style of riding than what I'm used to. So, and you still got to generate the power to go. And you still got to pull yourself up. You got to preload, which means squatting a little bit and then pulling up hard. And it responded to everything I did. I acted just like a regular mountain bike would, I suppose. I've never jumped a full suspension, so it was a new thing for me. So I enjoyed the heck out of that. That was fun. I don't know if I loved it on the smaller trail we rode, like the at Tilly Fowler, or basically our home trail, we like to call it. But the other park where it's a big mound, and it's probably a 400-foot climb up, and then you get to bomb it all the way back down. Loved it for that thing for sure too. That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad you went to the second park we went to today on a very active Mother's Day. So on a very active Mother's Day, I am looking at, what is the incline? Is that a 45-degree hill? What is that?
Not quite 45. It's probably 30, I would think.
30-degree
400 feet
hill.
It might be 400. I don't know if it's 400, but it's a strong climb.
Okay, so I mean, first of all,
it's a walk up on our regular bikes. It's not it's a hard ride up for sure.
Okay, so the only way that I can sort of visualize or provide a visual for anyone listening to this about this hill, first of all, this is a landfill.
A construction landfill. One time.
It was a construction landfill. So we're not riding on top of dirty diapers. We're riding on top of construction landfill. So if anybody has a landfill in their town, you can imagine how big of a mound this may be. And then on top of that, you sort of add to the fact of, I don't enjoy long, steady, slow climbs. I prefer sort of a switchback, or I prefer a ski lift. How about that? I would love a ski lift on this particular one.
Great.
Yeah. And so this particular park is not someplace we go to regularly just because of the fact that it's just one big straight up. It reminds me of water parks. To get that slide on the way down, you have to climb all those stairs. Now, imagine if you weren't climbing stairs, if you were just walking up one big concrete slab straight up to get to that water park slide, and do that with a bicycle. And that's what experience is. So, I mean,
That's a
it's
good
pretty,
explanation.
yeah, it's pretty daunting. So in the past, I think I made it about a quarter of the way up, and then I was walking my bicycle up the rest of the way. And the incline is so much that even pushing a bike up there, you start to question your life, and you start to think about, like, there's other things I could be doing right now, especially since there is a great brewery just 2 blocks away. I could be sitting there drinking that instead of pushing my bike up this big concrete slab. But with an e-bike, with a pedal assist, I put it on 3 because, yeah, this sucks. I don't like this part of this. I'm not taking away from my experience by putting on a 3. I'm actually going through it because I don't like that part of the mountain biking experience. And so I pedaled really, really fast, and really got my cardio up, because you have to pedal really, really fast
Yes.
for a really extensive amount of time. And the thing that I would say is similar to this is, if you've ever taken a spin class and the spin instructor says, we're racing, and she puts on some really fast music, and that fast music goes for about 5 minutes, and you're racing, that is about what you need to do. Even with a pedal assist, you need to do that, like you're in that spin class. But your payoff is you get to the top, and then you get to enjoy the water slide and the flow on the way
Yeah,
down.
that one trail was so much fun.
Oh, it
was
was
super
so much
flowy,
fun. So much
super
fun.
flowy, and I think they just built that one, and it was that was I think I rode it 3 or 4 times. That was a blast. That's a fun. That's my type of riding. That's a fun type of ride.
Now, you need to say the name of that park for
It's
anybody who's
Turo
listening
Park.
for
It's Trek
Jacksonville.
Trails at a Turo Park. Trek is a big sponsor, Trek Bikes, and it's called a Turo Park at Trek Trails, or Trek Trails at a Turo Park. And it's off Sunbeam Road here in Jacksonville, Florida. It's only open during the weekend and on Wednesday nights. And it's got a big climb. It has a perimeter trail that goes around the bottom, so you don't have to climb to the top. So there is a perimeter around it, and it's all off road, and it's fun. I mean, it's a good park. It's not a full downhill. It's got a lot of good flowing. It's got some challenges. They're putting new things in it every day. They're trying to make it more of a destination mountain bike park, which is going to be great, especially it's so close to us. The climb just is murder. I mean, it really is. It's murder for me, but I'm sure other people have no problem. I'm not a climber. I'm a flatlander. And that's, it's just hard. It's not easy. With the e-bike, it was easy. I mean,
Well, and
I spun
what's
up to
nice?
the top, and at the end, when I got to the top, I still had 15, 16 more miles I could ride.
Yeah, and what was also nice was seeing some other moms out there.
Oh yeah.
There were a couple of moms out there with their younger sons mountain biking. So kudos to all the Mother's Day mountain biking moms out there. So we're at this park, and maybe that's another thing that different states should think about, taking construction filled landfills and turning them into awesome mountain biking parks
Some type of
that
park.
are available for not only regular mountain bikers, but mountain bikers that have pedal assist. Because now, I don't know, maybe you know this. Are there trails that absolutely pedal assist is not allowed on?
Absolutely. There's a couple of states that is not allowed right now. South Carolina, I believe, still doesn't allow it. And they have a great park system there. And we went out there a few years ago, and we were only able to ride for like an hour and a half because it was so much climbing, and our legs were just, we had to sit down and just rest for about an hour. We couldn't really get out and enjoy the park because there was so much climbing. So there are a few places that do not allow motorized bicycles. That's what they're calling them, motorized bicycles. But I think there's a lot of lobbying going on for pedal assist. There's three types of mountain bikes. There's a throttle with pedal, and then there's pedal assist. They're trying to set up everything pedal assist. Throttle bikes might as well be motorcycles in everybody's minds. Pedal assist bikes, maximum they can go on a mountain bike is 20 miles an hour. Now your pedal assist road bike, I think you can get up to 28 miles an hour on them. And then the motor doesn't provide any more power. And that's a whole nother thing. I mean, the road, the bikes for road. I mean, we saw a couple yesterday at a park riding around on trails, and they were an older couple, probably in their 70s, and they were riding e-bikes too.
Yeah, and that is what I really love. I do want to say that after renting these pedal assist and deciding to ride them on both our local trails and going to what we consider to be one of those trails that is absolutely for great climbers, I don't see why anybody wouldn't allow a pedal assist on a trail. I was a little concerned that, when the motor kicks in, that it would drive me into a tree, but it really doesn't. If you have a pedal assist and it's not, full throttle and full power, it will not drive you into a tree. So you mentioned meeting that older couple, and this is one of those things that as we age, I am really hoping that with pedal assist, we could be mountain biking into our 80s. I could see it. I could see it with a little padding on the seat. Absolutely. Because I don't think, I don't think this butt is going anywhere as I age. I think it's just kind of going further away and needs a little more padding. But other than that, pedal assist, what do you say?
When can I go buy them?
That's what I was worried about. So renting these for my husband on my birthday was, for his birthday and combination Mother's Day, was really risky for me because he has been wanting to buy these for quite some time.
I've been wanting to try this brand of bike because it's a not full power. It is a super lightweight mountain bike with power, with pedal assist. There are full power, full size mountain bikes that, twice the power, but they don't look like bikes. They look like, I wouldn't say they look like motorcycles, but they look like big, strong e-bikes. This does not look like that at all. It has a very small motor. If the only way it's an e-bike, if you see the LED display on the top and you see the motor that's kind of hidden behind the cranks, you don't see it. And that's kind of what I liked about it. And we rode these bikes with the motors off, and it rode just like a regular bike, except for it's 47 pounds.
Right. And I hate to say it, but just kind of being in the software industry, I like to unplug a lot. I don't really take my phone a lot of places. Sometimes I just like to unplug. And so the idea of having software on my bike is a little horrifying to me because I don't, I'm kind of like, I don't want to see a screen. And at some point I said to you, what is going on with my screen? So they were giving me all kinds of stats. There was like this little rotating screen of stats. And the only thing that I was really concerned about was, do I have enough power to get through Conquistador? And, so seeing the little hourglass with my little power there, it was a really simple interface.
Yes.
I want to say that they have not over-engineered this. Go Trek, please do not over-engineer this. Do not think that I want my heart rate on this thing. Do not think that I want a breathing apparatus attached to this thing. Like, let's keep it simple, people. Like, I don't, we're out in the woods. Like, just give me enough information that I know, where the health of this bike, right? This bike is at 57% of power. That's what I need. There was some other stats there on miles per hour,
miles left to ride.
Miles left to ride is important because you can really get on a trail and not realize that you have gone way beyond the capability of, what's left in this bike. And so knowing how many miles are left, yes, absolutely. Good choice on the software product manager who made that decision, that's a use case that absolutely needs to be supported. There was another one that was kind of weird.
It was pretty smart actually. It told you how much power it was putting out and how much wattage you were putting out. So how much power you were generating and then how much power the bike was generating.
See, I didn't look at that one because I feel like that stat might have upset me. Maybe I wasn't putting as much wattage as I should have been putting out. But here's the other thing that we sort of competed on as along the way. You were like,
You mean there's a competition again?
there
with
was
us?
always a
Goodness
competition.
gracious.
Yes. And so along the way, you said, I'm down 2 bars on the battery and I was only down 1 bar. And I felt like the reason I was only down 1 bar is because I'm just more awesome at mountain biking than you are. And I was like keeping my motor down. But I mean, that's my interpretation, but that's
Could
probably
be the
not.
65 pounds, but yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah. You are moving more mass than I'm moving.
That's what she said.
But yeah, that's how that went. So okay, so in summary, if you are celebrating Mother's Day, my suggestion is to rent a pedal assist mountain bike.
Or Mother's Day or your birthday, or just go rent one and get outside. Go check outside. There's so much of this country to go see on bikes. It's so much fun. It's usually, and these bikes we rented are super quiet. You don't hear the motor at all, and you can just cruise along, and it's so nice to be in the woods and just enjoy nature. It's just it makes me want to go ride more. I just got to give these bikes back today. That kind of sucks, but whatever.
Yeah, we have to give them back, and hopefully save up to actually afford them in the future. The other thing that I would say is my legs are tired. I felt like I really got a lot of great exercise. So that is why right now I'm drinking mimosas.
Well, it's Mother's Day and Mimosa Mother's Day.
So. It's Mimosa Mother's Day. And so I have done my Mother's Day exercise, and now I'm going to have my Mother's Day mimosas.
There you go.
So happy Mother's Day to everyone today. In the future, we hope to do a Mother's Day gift decision podcast well ahead of Mother's Day.
I killed it this year. Wasn't the mountain bikes, people. I killed it. Killed it.
You did a good job for Mother's Day this year.
You're welcome.
You want to say what you did for Mother's Day?
Nope, you can tell them later.
What? No, our posters from Italy, you got them framed.
Yes.
You have a great artistic, I always trust you on artistic decisions. So you got them framed with the right things and all the right frame choices. And so you will be hanging those later.
Yeah, more work for me. Love it.
I'm glad your legs are tired, but your arms can still hang my pictures. So that's going to be happening. Okay. So wrapping up real quick, we say rent them. We say forget about the judgments. We say, guy, you know who you are.
Congratulations on your 6 laps.
Yeah, congratulations on your 6 laps. One day you're going to be 50, and there's that. So you will be on a pedal assist one day. And to some of our older listeners, pedal assists are the way to go. Good for your knees, good for your hips, good for your cardio. And you can go really great long distances. If you're not somebody who likes to ride through the woods, but you do like to ride, long distances, or maybe over some bridges, or maybe
rail trails.
Rail trails are great things for these bikes. You can set 1, 2, or 3, and you get your little necessary stats to tell you how far you've gone and how far you need to return. So I say everyone do it. By the way, it's not cheap to rent. Okay. It's kind of like, it's kind of like $100 or more a day, just so you know what like what I, just so you know what I spent for you for your birthday. It was fairly significant. And, you have to rent one for you and the person you're riding with, if you ride with somebody.
That's a good way to try them out and see if you like it. So.
Right. And if you have a bicycle place who allows you to apply your rental to maybe a purchase in the future, then, which we have to check out, that's awesome too. So we could rent them a couple more times, and then maybe over time we could afford some. One more shout out. I will put the bicycle store that we rented these e-bikes from on our website. and a little shout out to them. And I want to shout out to Trek. Good job.
It's a good bike.
It's a good bike.
I mean, it's a really good bike.
It's a really good bike, and you've done a lot of research.
Yeah,
and
that's the one I wanted. I wanted to ride this one the most. So yeah, that's a really good bike.
All right. So thank you again, husband, for coming on here for decision. Not like you had a choice because today's Mother's Day.
Oh yeah, I mean, come on.
You didn't really have a choice.
Do I have a choice in anything I do, Lynn?
You don't really have a choice.
No.
But everybody every day has choices and decisions they need to make. And that's why you should subscribe and like this podcast, because we love talking about decisions. We're going to get some more decisions on here. I've got somebody who's drinking with mimosas with me today who has decided to learn Spanish, and not just learn it, but like he's talking with people all around the world in Spanish, and that's really interesting to me. So I'm hoping I can get him on here, but
He'll do it.
yeah, I hope so. So please go to our website, decisiondiaries.com. Please like and subscribe to this podcast. If you'd like to hear some more decisions, give us some suggestions. Thank you so much for listening.
Decision Diaries.